driving like it's stolen. I've been living wild, I'm just going through the motions. Stumbling out the Uber, grab my hand, gave me the notion. Swimming in your water, but it feels just like the ocean. I can't lie, I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. Pull you down till you dry. All the time, ease my mind. All the time, ease my mind. I know that you're dangerous, I'm addicted to you. I was sipping more for 2 years straight to the face. Champagne belly bubbles still won't go away. Last year my best man hit a stain with bare face. Now he's got a
All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to This, That, Third. This is the podcast where we cover a little bit of everything from the lighthearted to the life-changing. Now, this is your boy Hook. I'm here with my sister from another mister, Shannon. How are you?
I'm good. What's going on?
I can't call it. All right, so today we're going to be diving into a conversation that really matters, right? So the Purple Gala is coming up, and it's more than just an elegant night out. It's a movement dedicated to raising awareness about domestic violence amongst men. It's an issue that goes often unspoken about. And in this episode, we're really going to unpack the story behind the event, why it's important, and how it's changing the way we think about support, survival, and strength. So settle in as we talk about this, that, and the third. So Shannon, why is this issue important in your opinion?
So for me, this year, I've supported the Purple Gala for a couple of years now, and I think I've never seen Tina and them come at it from an angle where they're talking about men. So I'm just really excited about to see men talk about their experience with domestic violence and how they've overcame and dealt with. So that's really exciting to me this year. I think that's awesome.
All right, absolutely, I certainly agree, and I'm really interested to hear from my panel. And speaking of which, I'll go ahead and give them an opportunity to introduce themselves, tell them who you are. So guys, if you'll go ahead and take it away. And Tina, we're going to start with you.
Oh, well, my name is, of course, Tina Torres. I am one of the co-founders of the Purple Gala and a plethora of other things, but we're just going to talk about the gala right now.
All right, Mr. Shad.
Good evening, everyone. I'm James Shad, formerly of the Shad Law Firm. I'm a Columbia native. I've been practicing law. I'm celebrating my 25th year this November, practicing law, working primarily in family law, which of course touches on intimate partner abuse, and also criminal defense, which also covers that as well. So I've represented a number of survivors, as well as those who have been accused of domestic violence. So I'm intimately involved, and I'm honored to be on the panel discussion for the Purple Gala in October. And of course, I'm very good friends with Tina Torres and Kawan Fitch, the co-founders of this wonderful, wonderful event. And it's so pressing. It's unfortunately, we're always talking about this, and we're trying to do our best to eradicate it. And I'm just so happy to be here. And thank you for this platform, Hook and Shannon.
All right, absolutely.
Thanks for being here.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can
hear you guys. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Go ahead and tell us about yourself, Mr. Patrick.
Hey y'all, my name is James Patrick. I am a professional known as James Patrick, the fitness guru. I'm an exercise therapy specialist. I've been I'm a former professional dancer. I currently work as a medical esthetician, as well as a licensed clinical massage therapist. And I own a practice downtown. And on your radios. And yeah, I'm just here. And I'm also a big advocate for mental health. I live with bipolar 1 disorder. And I work also as an advocate, lending my voice, specifically in the individuals and in who and exploring, educating, and helping other people understand their wellness leads them to a better understanding of themselves.
All right, good deal. And we're certainly honored to have all you guys. I know we have a couple other guests who are trying to get in,
I
so
lost you. I can't hear you.
I got you. We'll get you squared away, James.
I cannot hear you.
All right, and while we're getting James straight, and while we're waiting on the other panelists, we will go ahead and dive into it. So I do want to go ahead and start with a basic question, right? Because honestly, this is my first time hearing about the gala. I haven't heard about it before, so I'm curious, what inspired the creation of the Purple Gala?
So I hate that Kawan is not able to get on. So Kawan and I, we both are survivors of domestic violence. And it was 9 years ago, we sat at the IHOP on Assembly. She told me she had an idea. I had been doing a fashion show in regards to domestic violence awareness. And there she is. Um, and so she said she wanted to do something to bring awareness to domestic violence, to see if there was something that we could collaborate on, be partners on, and try to figure out something major. And that's how we came up with the Purple Gala. We wanted to be able to, um, we wanted to be able to bring awareness. We wanted to be able to also have a platform for those that wanted to be able to talk about domestic violence, feel safe of being able to talk about it, and to know that we cared. We know that resources are slim in the state of South Carolina. And so we were looking at ways that we would be able to help a survivor when it came to domestic violence with either lodging or clothing, toiletries, different stuff like that. And so it was the brain power of two survivors that are now Phoenixes. So that's how it came about.
Yeah, and I can certainly understand and respect that, especially with both of you having that personal experience, and being able to, I guess, really share your experience with others, so that they don't have to go through what you guys actually endured. So thank you for sharing that. And I know we're still trying to get Kawan straight. Hopefully we can. But in the meantime, I did just want to ask a basic question of everyone on the panel. So, Mr. Shad, we're going to go ahead and start with you. So, why do you think it's important to have an event like this in our community right now?
So overall, it's important to have this event to keep things in the forefront, to make sure that the awareness is always there, because we sometimes kind of get siloed. We are about what we're doing for our kids, what we're doing for our jobs, and we just kind of navigate this thing called life and not realize that there are our neighbors, our family members, our church members, people in the mosque, and in the temple, and they're going through. And sometimes they are going through and they have certain positions. We hold them to a certain level of high esteem and not realizing that there are things that are happening behind closed doors. And so we have to sometimes unpack that, because people truly are hurting. And it's not always women. There's a big emphasis on that, because we know that the statistics are really bad in terms of women who are harmed and actually killed by their intimate partners. And it's a very difficult thing for a lot of folks to navigate, especially in the court system, because of the stigmas that's there, and having to re-traumatize the survivors, because they have to go to court, they have to assist police officers in making their case, and it's very difficult to bring those cases. Sometimes the police are not trained as well as they should, and they may pass things off. They get frustrated because oftentimes, because it's such an intimate relationship, folks want to recant. They realize that the person may get arrested. They realize that they may lose their job. And then that's their financial lifeline as well. And then, of course, they also have kids that they have to be concerned about. And so we have to make sure that we keep that awareness there, that people know if they see something a little bit different about their friends, that they at least ask the question, what's going on? Talk to me. and how can we get you help? And so it's great to have an event like this where, you get to let your hair down, you have a good time, but at the same time, you're partying with the mission. And we do that on an annual, well, they do that on an annual basis. And again, I feel like I'm a part of it because I'm happy to say this too.
I love the ownership. I love the ownership, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Not so much so, Shannon, that I was looking back, I was like, wait a minute. They give out the gala honorees for advocates against intimate abuse. And I was one of the first groups in that very first year. They celebrated me as one of the advocates of the year. It was 10 honorees that year. So I was grateful for that, and we're still in the fight.
And Shannon, same question, especially with you not only being an organizer of the event, but also having experience domestic violence yourself, right? So why do you think I think that it goes without saying, but I still want to hear, why do you think it's important to have an event like this in our community?
Did you call me or Tina?
Tina.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you said Shannon.
Yeah, you said Shannon. It's
did I
right.
say Shannon? I meant Tina.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, I wish I could take credit for Tina's
Right.
event.
I think it's important because oftentimes you have people that do it just for show. We do it because we know what it's like to be overlooked. We do it because we genuinely know what it's like, where you're trying to figure out when he or she comes home, what mood they're in. How do I maneuver that? How do I keep my kids safe? How do I keep myself safe? So we wanted to have an event that allowed people to see the realness of a person's story. I'm not saying that people tell fake stories. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is we go down, we are boots on the ground, and we are in the thick of things. And we need others to know the importance of that. The person standing beside you may be in a domestic violence relationship. And you don't know it because they're afraid to say something. So the year COVID hit, we thought we would have to cancel. But we maneuvered it in a way where we didn't have to cancel, and there were people literally watching online because we put it online that needed assistance, that were looking forward and being able to know that they could count on us to help them with the situation. The gala is open to any and anyone that needs the assistance, as far as like someone to lean on, some type of services, just to awareness for someone that can look out for the person whose voice is silent, knowing what the law consists of, understanding their rights, and different things like that. So that's why it was important to do this gala, because we really wanted others to know that we walk the talk, like whatever that sentence is. Like I know what I'm trying to say, but we don't sit behind a desk.
Yeah.
We literally are in the street, and we genuinely care.
Well, I think it's interesting that you mentioned how someone can be right next to you, a coworker, friend, or what have you, and you not realize that they're experiencing domestic violence.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember one year at the gala, I brought a friend with me, and she was very impacted by the stories that were going on, and even with her being our friends, we didn't understand.
Right.
We didn't understand the depth of the hurt and the pain and the recovery that it takes, the time that it takes to recover, that she was experiencing. So the fact that you hit on that, you don't know what people are experiencing and how they may need that support.
Is that the year that we had to call the ambulance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of that, we recognized that we had someone in the audience that was triggered. And so now at our galas, we have a safe room. And in that room, we have a licensed therapist or a life coach. We have them back there in the safe room, so that way they can go back there. and they're
Mm-hmm.
able to have someone to talk to, and they're able to be able to release whatever's on them, so they're not
Mm-hmm.
taking it home and they're not by themselves.
But it
So
was just an enlightening moment for us
yeah, because you
as
didn't
her
know,
support system.
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. And so that's why we stress the importance of what you put out on social media.
Mm-hmm.
We stress the importance of how you talk about domestic violence, because if I'm on social media and I say that could never be me, you're stupid, you're this, you're that, if you're letting this happen, that, guess what? They're not coming to tell you they're in a domestic violence
No.
situation.
Mhm.
They're not. Because at that moment, you have just labeled them stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And they're already getting that behind closed doors. So they're not coming to you. So that's another reason why at the gala we talk about a little bit about that, because we want individuals to know, if you want a person to come and talk to you, you got to create that safe space. And that's what the gala is about. It's a safe space for any and anyone to be able to leave there knowing that we got them. All they got to do is just let us know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the biggest thing, because what I heard from both you and James is the word safe, right?
Mhm.
So we know that on, especially on social media, people don't really think before they comment or before they post. So and people are really hesitant, really open up about the, because I would imagine the situation's already embarrassing, right? So
Yes.
I would imagine it's very hard to be forthcoming and to really admit when something like that's going on. So the
Yeah.
fact that they do have an outlet, they do have a safe space that they can go to really, um, you know, I guess get let it out, so to speak, right? And the
Right.
thing is though, like, so when people hear domestic violence, they often only think about women as victims, right?
Uh huh.
So why do you guys think that men's experiences are often overlooked?
So it, for me, the reason why I believe that it is because he's a man. Men, if I'm not mistaken, I'm glad we got three on here. Men are, I believe, that are taught or expressed to that they are the strong person, that they hold everything together, that they shouldn't be crying, that they just have to take it. Like, it is what it is.
Mhm.
And one out of every seven men, however you say that sentence, I'm listen, I just do events. They is in an abusive relationship. So if I'm sitting here and there's seven men sitting beside me, one of those guys is in a domestic violence situation, but he doesn't come forward because he's ridiculed. Like, the embarrassment, like, how you let a girl talk to you like that? How you let a girl beat on you like that? Like, what's wrong with you? Where's your manhood? I mean, his manhood is there. It's just that we have put so much on their shoulder that how can they come forward? Because we have made it so that they don't have a safe space, in my opinion.
Gotcha. James and James, as men, right? So why do you think that we as men, when it comes to us, we get overlooked when it comes to domestic violence?
We're taught to be the big boy. Big boys don't cry. That's what you hear. From a child. Big boys don't cry. Stop crying. I'll give you something to cry about. And we joke about this so much in the black community that it is not ever thought of in a way that is understood to be detrimental to our to our emotional states. Men learn um, how to separate themselves from from what they think they're doing is separating themselves from their emotions. But we've learned how to internalize so much that internalization feels safer than being open and honest and having conversation, um, because we're taught that that doesn't appeal to societal standards. It doesn't say that we're it doesn't make us look like we're giving the masculinity that we were breeded to give. Um, and I think that it really creates a toxic environment that is just taught generationally. And until someone comes in with enough emotional um, with enough enough emotional understanding, or emotional intelligence to say, hey, this isn't right, because it was taught doesn't mean it was correct.
Mr. Shad, what say you?
Yeah, and I have to say, in my practice, the vast majority of domestic violence survivors are women. I do have very few. I suspect I have more male clients. They just don't even want to share with their lawyer what they've gone through fully. I have also, um, the way it comes out in my practice is I'm representing a man who's been charged with domestic violence. And when he explains to me why he was charged, it is because he retaliated after his girlfriend or wife took it upon herself to hit him over and over and over and over again. And he just had enough. And he either used his hands to restrain her, and he's typically stronger than her. And so she has bruises. And when the cops come, they are taught if one person has the bruises, then the other person's going down to the county.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when it's revealed she's been doing this to me. I have a current client now where there was no charge, but he just literally stuck his arm out because the wife was doing things to him and the children were involved. They were there to see it. But he was like, I'm not going to call the police. I'm the protector of my home. I'm a man. He's you never a former Marine. He's a Marine, but he's a veteran. And they're not taught to, they're soldiers. And so it did not turn into, a criminal charge. This was several years ago, but they're going through a divorce now. And but he did reveal that, hey, she has a violent past, but it's really offensive to ask a woman or a man, well, why didn't you call the police? Why didn't you cry out? Because you don't know their story. You don't know the journey. You don't know all the pressure that they have in deciding whether to make that phone call. And unfortunately, people die because they don't cry out or because they're concerned about embarrassment. And I was just thinking, as we were talking about at the gala and how it can be triggering for some, I would not be surprised if there are survivors that are in the room, including in October, that will choose not to come forward because they know, or at least they feel, well, someone's going to know who my partner is and they're going to immediately think, they're doing something to me, and also look upon me as why, and judge me as to why I'm living in that situation. It's a really tough set of situations. I think it's just an added layer when it's men because of what's, like James has said, what society has said. You bet not cry. And then you're often in an arrested development situation, still boys that don't know how to handle our emotions. And then sometimes, as we know, hurt people hurt people.
Yeah, great point. And Jay, and Andre, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate that.
How you doing, Andre?
The question on the table is, oftentimes when we hear about domestic violence, we think women, right? So what do you think about men's experiences? Why do you think the experiences of men when it comes to domestic violence is often overlooked? I think you're muted, Andre. I can't hear you. Still can't hear you, know. All right, try it again. All right, so we're gonna work on Andre as well. And to you guys' point, one thing I did want to, I think the thing that people often point out, right, it's not just about physical abuse. When we think domestic violence, it can be verbal as well. And the thing is, because men are, I guess, historically stronger than women, women know that they can't physically harm, they can do only so much to physically harm a man. But what I can tell you from personal experience, women can say things that cut deep, right?
Yes, they can.
And oftentimes when they say those things, they do say those things to provoke a reaction. You know, they're trying to get a reaction out of them. And to your point, you said that oftentimes men, sometimes we struggle to control that emotion, and sometimes we do lash out. And I know, you know, and off, like you said though, like men, sometimes men do their best to restrain the woman, but I mean, you got to try to protect yourself, and sometimes bruises can occur with you just trying to fend for yourself or whatnot. So it's really it's definitely a slippery slope when it comes to that. Now, what unique challenges do you guys think that men face when seeking help or coming forward?
Who might know? Like if it's somebody in the building that let's say the service that they are seeking is in I don't know, a building downtown, and it's possible that when they walk in there, they may see somebody that knows them, and then they, hey, what you doing here, right? And then the lie will come up of, you know, they'll probably see something so fast and then change the complete subject and then not go and report what they're going through. So especially we know Columbia, Richland County, Lexington County are small. It's big but small at the same time. So 9 out of 10 times somebody knows somebody and somebody tells somebody. And so most of the time they just don't say anything because of that. Um, the risk of losing their kids. You know, they don't want to. The first thing that sometimes women do, some women, sorry, that sometimes that they do is, I know the some word. I'm sorry. They, you won't be able to see your kids. I wish you would. If you go tell somebody, you're not gonna be able to see your kids. You're not gonna be able to do this. You're not gonna be able to do that. You know what I mean? Or they put them out. You know, different things like that. It's reversed. You know, with women, it's almost the same thing, but with men, it's really like women really have a hold. Some women that are abusers have that hold, and for him, he's just stuck. He's stuck, and it's sad that it's like that. And some women can get away with it because they're women.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep it real. Women that abuse men, abuse their partner, know that because he's a male, who's going to believe you? Who's going to listen to you? You're a guy. Little old me did that to you. They're not going to believe that. Come on now, make it make sense. And that's just how it is. So they just stay to themselves. Then they suffer silent. And sometimes that silentness can lead to them ending lashing out, and it goes south, unfortunately, or you know, it could end up deadly, and it wasn't meant to, but that suppressing that causes them to do some things that they are afraid of.
Facts. And now, do you guys agree with Tina from a men's perspective? What do you guys think about that in terms of the unique challenges that men face?
Everybody's
On mute. James, are you back on mute?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. I agree. And I think specifically, you know, in black and brown houses, you know, that's really prevalent. Um, you know, growing up, and I've often told this story before. You know, my stepdad was a devout alcoholic, and my mom has bipolar disorder also, and so you can imagine what the pair of that might have looked like, you know, on a hot Saturday night. um,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, the abuse would be interchangeable because you know you had you know, a man who would be like verbally abusive, and you know, then you know you had a woman who's, you know, 5 foot even, who would be physically abusive, and so the pairing of that two at the end, and I saw, of course, how from an outsider's point of view, if my mom or if someone like her had told the story, it would always appear as as though there was there was one antagonist, in the story, when both parties were equally responsible. So but outsiders wouldn't. Your community won't look at it like that. They'll see, black and brown people say, oh, he was, he was the abuser. He was the main antagonist. So, yeah, I think that it's still a very big societal norm, and I feel as though if we don't have those open conversations, I think open conversations also require a lot of accountability. And I don't know if there's a lot of accountability on the table, because how many men are going to come forward and say this was happening, and how many women are going to come forward and say, I've been an abuser. You know what I mean? The little girl in them would let, we don't have that child inside of us, the child inside of them. I could imagine a woman, a black woman coming forward and saying anything like that.
I don't know if it's me or y'all, but I hear James and then it goes out.
And then towards the end, it went out for some
I think
reason.
it's the connection. You do good, and then the connection starts acting up. And Andre, I know you still can't get your sound to work out there.
Still nothing. All right. Yeah. And we're still working on them. And I guess in the meantime, Mr. Shad, if you want to go ahead, same question. What unique challenges do you think men face when seeking help coming forward?
Well, I was thinking about this before we came on, and please forgive me for my ignorance, but sister care is a great resource, but it's limited to women. I don't know the equivalent of a brother care. I don't know if there are donors that will give to an organization that is focused on male survivors of domestic violence. That in and of itself sends a message that the premium is on women. They have a place to go to. Obviously, the male partner should not know where that location is locally. They will assist you in filing for an order of protection in family court. They will provide an attorney to advocate for you in family court at no expense. But where's that support for men?
Mm-hmm.
When men make the phone call to the police, if they do so, is sister care or any equivalent running to them and saying, hey, we noticed that you filed, we have these resources? Or is the victim advocate in the sheriff's department even providing some type of support system? I don't think there are, because I hadn't heard any of my male clients saying that they ever reached out. The only thing closest to it would be, the Fatherhood Network, the Midlands Fatherhood Coalition, but that usually helps men who are dealing with child support. They're trying to help them with visitation with their kids after they have split. And they may have something where they teach them classes regarding how to, quote unquote, deal with that woman who is verbally abusive and how to try to navigate through, your emotions and her emotions. But also, it's interesting, they do teach them anger management. They do teach them domestic violence counseling, which is for the batterer, but the batterer might be a victim at some point, or it might have been back and forth. Both of them might be batterers, and the cops are doing it now. They say, hey, we can't tell who was the primary aggressor. We're going to arrest both of y'all, and we'll just let the courts figure it out. And it's just a matter of who has the better story that's going to influence the judge at that time. But in terms of supporting them, getting them to the courtroom, and what happens beyond that, I really don't think that there are really any service providers that are there to help the men. So where do the men go when they're in that situation. So it's just kind of compounds, saying, well, you know what, I'm not going to deal with it. You know, I'm not going to come out. And then my boys are going to say something about me.
Right.
Get out at some point, you know. And so now I'm considered less of a man because I consider myself, and I don't even want to use the V word. I know we've said it sometimes, but, you know, in terms of surviving, you know, that's not me. You know, my family's going to look at me a certain way. So it's a lot of societal restraints on everyone, but I do think in particular it's a little bit different for men, because again, we know what the statistics are, and the gut reaction is to run and apply resources to try to address it to just that one segment. And before we're done, I just want to make sure that we're clear too. We're not only talking about heterosexual intimate partners. Same sex intimate partner abuse is very real.
Yes.
Very real.
It is.
Yeah.
We need to make sure we press that as well.
James, getting back to what you said, do you think if they were, for instance, Tina is a woman and she's doing the Purple Gala and she's raising this topic, do you think more men would be more apt to come out if there were other males raising this topic in a more visible way?
That would be my hope. You know, I have this group called For Brothers Only. It's under my umbrella of Villager by Jay Shad. And we meet every 2 weeks on Tuesdays at the House of Hathor. And we try to bring men in. We talk to them. We have brothers talk to each other and try to, you know, recruit them to come in. And we talk about being vulnerable, having a safe space for us to come out. And while I'm encouraged by the brothers that come in, each time it's less and less brothers that are coming in for whatever reason. And we try to make it to accommodate their schedules. And there are other men's groups that are out there. And you know, there's Cigars and Scriptures that go on. Matter of fact, it's going on this coming Saturday at 10 o'clock. And so it's kind of difficult to kind of crack that the brothers wanting to open up and share about what's happening. Now, I'm encouraged by some of the stories that are coming out, absolutely. But to get it to an event like the Purple Gala, I'm hopeful, but I think realistically that's going to it's going to be a heavy lift to have brothers, to even get brothers to want to be a part of that because of, frankly, the stigma and the exposure. Yeah, a huge stigma.
Right. And to your point though, because some years ago I had a relative of mine. He was married at the time, and he and his wife got into it about something. I don't remember what. And he said he called the police because she started being physical with him. And when the police came to the door, he was telling them the story. They laughed at him, you know. And this is the law, right? And so, and to be honest, it was about maybe a decade ago. We even laughed at him, you know what I mean? Because it was kind of unheard of at the time. But now that I've gotten older and matured, you know, I understand that he was truly the victim in that situation, but no one saw it that way because he was a man. They were like, you're the man in your house. You have to put your foot down. You have to do all these things. But sometimes if the woman is strong-willed enough, you putting your foot down is only going to, I guess, encourage her even more to kind of buck up at you. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And what message does that send to his wife? Look, you can call the police and I'm still good.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's the y'all touched on it briefly, but it's the verbal abuse and the mental abuse. It's like that kind of the unseen abuses, right? Because we can see if someone hit you, we can see the bruises and the scars and the hospital visits and all of them, but it's the mental abuse that most oftentimes don't get talked about, don't get seen, don't get dealt with.
And the physical wounds can heal. Some might still be seen because they're old wounds. But those verbal wounds, those mental wounds, they last for a very long time. And you can take the Band-Aid off each time. And the tension when you come into the house every single day at night, what is it going to be like when I get home? Well, I know exactly, because I know you well. We're intimate. I know which buttons to push. And you know that I know which buttons to push. And what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
But even do people see that as abuse?
Yes.
Because the messaging
They better.
talks about the physical. Yeah. But the messaging talks about the physical. So do you realize when you talk to your husband like Andre was saying, these words cut deep. And when you talk to your husband a certain way, do you realize that that's abuse? Do you realize what you're doing is abusive?
And I guess you think of it, right? And I guess it takes you being in a truly healthy relationship to understand that you were really abused in previous relationships, right? And James mentioned earlier the B word, right? I won't say it either, but if you call a man the B word,
And
you know
put
what I mean?
little in
That's,
front of it, and put
listen,
little, you little
right.
B.
And
Yeah,
that's a trigger. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah.
I've had relationships in the past where women have said that to me, and it's almost like really you feel helpless. Like, because think about it, like I'm not an abusive person, right? I'm not gonna
Right.
put my hands on her and she can keep saying B word, B word, B word, B word. It's like
Yeah.
it's cutting deep every single time. And and it's like when you get home from a hard day's work, you don't know what you're walking into, and that's traumatizing. You don't see it at the time, but again, and luckily now with my marriage and my wife, like we don't even argue, so it's kind of like it's really healthy. We converse about everything, and it takes you to be in that healthy space to realize, I was really abused and I was really traumatized. You know what I'm saying? So, and I guess as men, we really don't see it that way. And we mentioned stigma earlier, right? So, so in your view, guys, like, how can society really create a safe space for men to talk about the issues they're experiencing without stigma?
But well, in my opinion, and I always say in my opinion because it's my opinion. I think if more men and women too just created those spaces to have those conversations, more conversations, I believe, create the dialogue that's needed for a man to say, "Hey, this is what I'm going through, guys," and it's those guys' job in that group not to be like, I know you effing lying, or I know you kidding, or dog, are you what? It's your job
Word.
to say, how can I help?
Yeah.
It's your job. At the same time, even with us girlfriends, it's our job not to sit up there and be like, because we say to B, I know you ain't
Yeah, we know you ain't talking to
wait,
your man like that.
right. It's our job too. And if we would stop just thinking that everything is funny.
Right.
If
Oh my
we would
God.
stop thinking everything is funny,
Absolutely.
then those that are in need will be comfortable with, call me right now, right? They would feel comfortable having the conversation. We tell our children, those that are being parents, and I'm keeping it real, come to me. We create that safe space with our children. So why are we not creating that safe space with our men, with our women, with our friends? Why are we not doing the same thing? I want my child to come talk to me if something's wrong. Why am I not creating that same type of space for my brother
Right.
or my sister?
Because can y'all hear me now?
Yes,
We
sir.
can hear
Yes,
you
I
we
was
now.
I was
can.
over here about to pop. I went to my cell phone. I was like, let me try my cell
I'm
phone.
glad you did.
Allow me, just based on what you just said, Ms. Torres, and thank you guys. One of the challenges is listen to what you said. Why do we create this space for our children but not for our men? It's because you have more respect for your child than you do your man.
Mm.
And
Oftentimes,
that speaks to
general.
that speaks to that individual, because
Yes.
I need to be able to find ways to balance that, but I
Yes.
also need to let this brother know I got you.
The most endangered species on the planet are men. We got programs for everybody. Mr. Shad said it already. We got
Yeah.
programs for everybody but men. I'm working on probably go back and get my doctorate, and I was going to deal with urban youth ministry, and if we really have it. But one of the things that lifted out in my mind was it's hard to do real urban youth ministry when you don't really have real men's ministry. A lot of times you have men fellowship. You don't have men's ministry because the men, even in the church that's over the ministry, can't be real about what they're confronted with because they have to protect their Eve.
Come on now.
And now you got to protect Eve, so it makes you give watered down. Now Eve is having conversation with the women about whatever's going on, but for the man, he can't come in and tell you he's got a problem even at home, which stifles the men's ministry, which stifles the youth ministry or the children or young men's ministry, which fills up DJJ, which fills up SCDC, because men don't have an audience. And I believe personally that it takes a man to give another man permission to say, I'm hurting, I failed, I'm sorry, I'm wrong, I need help, that hurt my feelings. And when we start talking about words, not only for the male or the female, my most toxic trait, I don't know if you all know yours, my most toxic trait is my silence. When I am the communicator and you keep stifling my voice, my punishment is to take my voice from you. And I used to be nasty with it. Now it might last a couple of hours when it used to last weeks. I'm serious, that I've been on my own since I was 16. And what I'm saying is, I'm not applauding that, but at least I know that's an area I need to work on. And that's some of the challenges, because my first deal with domestic violence was me trying to save my mom in the fight she was having, trying to get somebody not to leave the house when I was 8, and she hit me and told me to stay in the child's place.
Oh wow.
So that traumatic experience probably made me an overprotector of women, to almost to my, if I work with you, if I'm married to you, or I am a protector by guts. But even in that, even in the protective role, we got to deal with this. Domestic violence is easy to manifest because women don't think they're being violent when they use their words, or even when they use their hands. Watch this. Some women think they got to shake stuff up just to see if you care. What?
Right.
That's the insecurity level within themselves. I'm just keeping it real at this point. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I just, like, check yourself. Because if you would check yourself first, you would realize that man is not there to hurt you.
Yeah.
He's there to protect you and to guide you. That's what he's there for. But if you find it necessary to continue to bring your baggage on him because you can't handle your own, then you put him in a position where he doesn't know what to do. He's stuck.
Yeah.
Why do men have to spend all of our time fixing and preparing and going to counseling and all of that, and women have given a pass to say they're okay?
Society.
I ain't got no problem. Nobody ever told me I had that problem. Nobody loved you enough to tell you. Someone was just happy to be with you, and wasn't even with you, they was around you.
Ooh.
So you get somebody to love you and say, hey, fix that. And now you saying, well, ain't nothing wrong. You're a human. All of us got dysfunction.
And I think that's why I wanted to bring this to the forefront, because the numbers are rising, especially everything that's going on in society right now. And for the past 9 years, we've always talked about women, but I've always said men. People will always, I've always said both. This year, for year 10, I just really wanted to do that hard impact of saying, listen, our men hurt as well. Our men are suffering behind closed doors. That man sitting next to you that laughed with you really is going home to an abusive relationship. You know what I mean? And you don't see the licks on him. The bruises, the scratches.
Yeah.
Right now he probably took $10 just to be able to have a drink, and when he gets home, who the hell told you can use $10 out of the pot? But it's reality.
Yeah.
Reality.
Seriously.
Financial.
Seriously.
Mental. I'm not taking care of the kids. That's your job.
Sexual.
It's
Sexual.
all of that.
Withholding yourself is abuse as well. If you're in a relationship, all of that plays a role on a man's psyche when especially when you are a leader. Like when I'm looking at the brothers now, we're leaders, especially when you're leaders. Everybody expect, you fine, you'll be okay, toughen up. I'm tired of being tough all the time, especially when I come home.
But if you guys, have to, as men, like you said, men have to create that safe space.
Yeah, to give men permission to say those things. And we were just talking about that. I was asking a question about where do men, would men be willing to go to a place where there were men there giving them that safe place versus a woman trying to provide it. And how,
It's a shame, but James mentioned
yeah.
cigars and scriptures. Man, that's Ty Williams. That's nasty. And and the church act like, well, no, they don't go together. Yes, they do. That's where men are. That's where men are, and that's what
Sexual
happens.
abuse and the
And
church don't go together, but they doing it. So you tell me. I mean, what?
now, why you moving your neck? Why you moving your neck?
Hey, that's a whole nother show. That's another show.
I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm traumatized right now, though, guys. I gotta tell y'all that I'm being abused right now, looking at that thing behind
No.
James.
Wait.
Wait.
Come to the safe space, brother. Come to the safe
Contaminated.
space.
I'm so with you on that one. I'm so
Did you
with you
not
on
see
that
that
one.
game last week?
Yeah, Hook, I know
When
about the
did you do
49ers.
No, ma'am. All I gotta do is this. All I gotta do is this.
Nah,
Oh,
having a
Lord.
friendly
Yeah.
conversation.
Oh. Anyway,
No, and
I'm
what
sorry. I couldn't
and to
resist.
everyone's point, what everyone's been talking about, even for men, like right, because I have a circle of friends. Like I come from a large family, but there are only certain people I can take certain things to. And I have one friend.
Right.
He's my brother, but we're not blood related, right? We can talk about any and everything. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm
That
like,
part.
I can call him. I spoke to him this past weekend about some stuff I was dealing with. I can get emotional
Got
with
it.
him. I can cry. I can do all these things, and it stays between us. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes, to your point, like you mentioned, cigar and scriptures. Most times when we talk, we go to a bar or something, have a couple of drinks, and and that's our outlet. Watch football or do whatever, right? But I think that
That's it.
even if, to Tina's point, if society doesn't create that space for us, it's up to us men to create that space. Even if you have that one person that you can go to, and you know that you can go to them without judgment, without being criticized, without having your manhood questioned. And
Right.
my wife is great, but still, there's certain things that I need a man's point of view on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'm
Absolutely.
doing this
Absolutely.
event to bring awareness for the men. I am hoping that us putting the panel together with James Shad and Andre and James Patrick and Javar and Aaron Ashford. The goal was to make sure that it was male dominated because I wanted others to see that there are men that are willing to create some of those safe spaces, begin something somewhere. And even though it's two females putting this event together, I wanted to be able to just sit down and let the men take over because it's not that often that every gala that you may see or every event that you may see, it's about women. Women this,
Yeah.
women that. And I get it. Don't get me wrong.
We like to celebrate things. We like to get together.
Yeah. But I'm saying when it comes to domestic violence, I
Mhm.
lived at sister care with my 3 kids years ago.
Hmm.
So I know what that's like. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
Where can a man go if he's in a
Yeah.
domestic violence situation? There is no place for him to go.
Mhm.
And so the goal with this particular
Which
And I'm shocked that there's not even one. There's not
Tina,
one.
which leads to a high murder rate. Watch this by in South Carolina alone. A high casualty. Due to domestic violence by a spouse. Because watch this. Men have been taught not to
Yeah.
cry, or we've been taught and raised by our mothers. Don't be offended. We often pick up our mother's emotions and we snap, we hold it in, and we have what I call man-sized tantrums. But by the time we finish, somebody's dead,
Yeah.
which then causes us to be incarcerated. I worked in SCDC, I work in DJJ now, and that's one of the highest volumes. The young men are acting out of their emotions. Ooh, I got anger issues. No, you don't. You have hurt issues that you haven't confronted, and nobody's giving you permission
Yes.
to confront them. So you act manly or you act angry. You act like the angry man or black man or whatever, and you fit the stereotype because you don't know how to process your emotions. You don't know how to display, as my brother said earlier, about emotional intelligence. You don't know how to express your emotions. And I think that this gala and this particular event And we thank you, ladies, for putting it on and giving a voice to the brothers in as part of it. And I think, between now and then, if we do one or two more of these, and we invite more men to the table, to the conversation, with some pointed questions that they might want.
I think we should. And that's gonna be the assistance that we need from my male friends, my brothers. You understand what I'm saying? Like I can probably pull it together, but at the same time, they not trying to hear Tina Torres. They need to hear James Shad, Hook, James Patrick, on the Andres. You understand what I'm saying? The one. And unfortunately, we have a lot of younger ones that just think everything's a game. Not recognizing the fact that, brother, you probably want to come to this, not the event itself, but just in general, like come to my brother's keeper, those type of things. We've got to find ways to really do that.
Well, I was wondering, Tina, how
violence is happening all the way down to the age of a boy at the age of 12. I've got 12-year-olds who think that it's okay to hit a girl.
Put their hands.
Have you had to do any different marketing to get the information out to the men so they know about
it? I've been calling the guys in my black book. And saying, hey,
little is it?
No. I'm just kidding. But just saying, hey, I need you at this event. If you can't be there, I need you to help push it. Because I feel if men are helping push this, they'll know that it's okay. The other men will see it and they'll say it's okay. You know what I mean? And so with Andre being there and James being there, we already have 2 people that can go into that room, that safe room, if we have some people there that need their assistance. James.
And Aaron's a clinician.
Oh, and Aaron. And then James Patrick, he's got like the breathing techniques and the how to type things. You understand what I'm saying? So we were very intentional on who we put on the panel. We were very intentional on making sure it's even with Prince Ice. Remember the first year, he wrote a letter. He didn't want anybody to know, and this speaks to men who don't want anyone to know because of who they are, of the position that they have in a community. Prince Ice is a well-known DJ, correct? And national, right?
All over.
And so he grew up watching his mom. He wrote a letter and he said, I could read it at the gala. You remember that, James and James? And we read this letter. And he actually was sitting in the audience. And I said, if the person that wrote this letter wants to stand and say something, you're welcome to. And we waited for a minute. And Prince Ice stood up. And I have that picture to this day, my brother's keeper. And he expressed what he witnessed as a child growing up. And it was some things that he had on him that stuck with him. And he had to learn how to make choices. Not everybody has somebody that they can talk to help them make the right choice. Right. Not everyone has someone in front of them that shows them that abuse is not love. And so having him back this year to DJ and both the James involved, and we've got Andre involved, having the guys really take the role on this is what I'm hoping and believing in my heart will open up the avenue for more men to speak, to come forward.
Absolutely. And we've got a few minutes left, right? And before I get like final thoughts from everyone, Tina, I do want to ask you as one of the organizers, if people cannot attend the gala, right?
Yes.
What other ways can they get involved? I know you mentioned, sharing and really getting the word out there. But if we can't make it to the gala, what other ways can we get involved and really show support?
So the proceeds that we have after expenses basically help individuals that are in domestic violence situations. We've been able to help people with lodging. We've been able to help with toiletries if they need a bus ticket or a plane ticket to get back to where they originally, some people travel to be with someone, right? And they end up staying and it doesn't work out. So if we can get them back home, we help out with that. If there's legal fees,
Awesome.
we try to do as much as we can with that. If they're moving into a new place, it's like either a down payment or not so much of, it's not a lot of money, but it's something. So if they could make a donation, we are a 501c3. We are guaranteed up to date on everything. So if they could make a donation, we would be able to give them a letter at the end of the year that they could claim on their taxes, tax deductible. So we are asking for donations,
Okay.
or maybe just purchase a ticket, and we can give that ticket to somebody who may not have the funds that want to be able to attend. Or they can help us as far as like getting us on, maybe if they have another podcast, or if they have, a newsletter that they wouldn't mind putting the information in that. But donations would be really, really helpful so that we can continue our mission.
And what I will say, Tina, obviously, we've worked together before in the past, so if there's anything that I can do personally as a man to help push it, I'll be more than happy to.
Okay.
And also, ideally, what I'd like to do, and Shannon, if this is okay with you, we can do this.
Yeah.
After the gala, I'd love to bring you guys back on and talk about, what I mean, if we want to bring more new people on, that's fine. But I want to do like a pre and a post. You know what I mean? So because this is, even though the gala is one night, this is an ongoing issue. So this is something that needs that attention. So obviously, anything that this, that, and the third can do for you, we'll be delighted to.
Definitely.
Well, we truly appreciate it. With this situation with the guys, I mean, we just want them to be strengthened. We want them to know that whatever's going on, we've got the resources as far as like with James and Andre and the other James and Aaron, and we've got some brothers that are coming on board that can help create the space that they are needing. And we don't want them to be afraid, and we want them to know that it's confidential. Like I'm dead set on, if you come to me and say you need somebody, I'm going to make sure you get with somebody that I know is going to make sure you're good.
Absolutely.
And that's why
Respect.
my relationships with you guys is important, because I know that I wouldn't be where I am today with the work that we've been able to do without you guys.
Absolutely.
So I just want to say thank you to all of you. I met Shannon some years back, and it's been great to see. She's been supportive, and every time you turn around, what you need. Hook, you've been there every time, what you need. James Shad been there since the beginning and has watched me grow so much in the work that we do. And Andre has been that person, like, if I think it's a fairy tale, that brother gonna remind me, that is. And I need that.
You
But
can
I need
do
that,
it.
and
Yeah,
that's
you
what I
can
want
do
the
it.
brothers to
Yeah.
have. The same type of surroundness that I have is what I want these brothers to have.
Absolutely.
White, black, Chinese, Hispanic, red, green, yellow, blue, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Every person needs somebody. And it's our job to create that safe space for them to be able to relay what's going on with them, so we can find a way to help them. Simple as that.
Absolutely. And also with James and Andre, I want to get you guys' final thoughts as well. Like give us a lasting thought that you want to leave the audience with.
Well, I'm gonna go first because I've been on panels and interviews with my brother Dre. He always has drop the mic moment, so I'm not gonna follow behind him. I'm smart enough to know that. So I'm gonna leave you with this, and this goes to awareness. So first of all, thanks again for having us on here, giving us this platform. The airwaves are very precious, and we're honored that you all are allowing us to be in this space with you. Of course, thank you to the co-founders, Tina Torres and Kawan Fitch. It's very prevalent. It's much needed. It's about using your voice and the male voice. It's about time that the male voice is appreciated and requested in this space. there are many who suffer in silence, and they also happen to be men. And so, back to what Shannon said in terms of, and you too, Hook, in terms of awareness, we literally have a month before the Purple Gala on October 18th. And so, I'm challenging all those who are watching this, who are going to watch the repost of this, share, go to either Tina's page, go to my page, Dre's page, Jamal Bradley's page. We've been posting. Make
Or
sure
mine.
you share, reshare, put it on all your social media platforms. The QR code is on there. Someone has already asked Tina, I don't know if you saw it, where they can put send a donation. There's a QR code on the flyer. Share it. Brothers, when you are in those spaces, sitting at the bar or wherever, church, say, hey man, I want you to come to this event with me. You can't come? Okay, well, I at least want you to give. And challenge them. Why won't you do it? Ask them, why won't you do it? You may not be suffering, but one of the other brothers in the 7 may be doing so. And I think that number's skewed, because that just means it's 1 in 7 that have reported it.
Right.
Probably even more who
more
are
than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So, definitely continue to awareness. We still got time to do it. And I'll just share, since I got the mic right now, just go to shedidthatevents.com/Purple Gala. But let me say this too. I know Tina said buy the ticket, but when you buy the ticket, still reach out and say, hey, I won't be able to make it. I bought the ticket, because we don't want empty seats. You're paying for it, and the organizers are thinking that you're coming, especially if it's a number of people, and they got to plan for that in terms of seats. But we want to make sure that we have folks that are in the building, hearing those stories. And I need men to step up. I need men to do that. Be your brother's keeper by just showing up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. What you got, Dre?
Awesome. I would just say inside every man is a little boy screaming, let me out. And the challenge of that is to give men permission to bring the little boy with them, to grow up in our assignments. And everywhere you go, there you are. Because sometimes we think if I can get another job, or I can do something different, the situation will get better. If they didn't mean it, or, I don't want to look weak. Real men do hurt. Real men do cry. It's the punk that don't cry. He hits his woman and make her cry for him. It's called domestic violence. It's a crucial topic, especially in this season. The timing of it is crazy, because we are in the season, the last quarter of the year is one of the highest times of suicide, domestic violence, murder, and what have you. It's called SAD, seasonal affective disorder. And it's a literal thing. It starts getting dark quicker, colder in the seasons, and you can have a propensity to turn in and say, woe is me, especially if you haven't accomplished what you said you want to accomplish at the beginning of the year. And so this gathering and this opportunity is for us to help heal each other. We all need, I don't care, I'm an inspirational, motivational speaker, but I need motivation. I am a loving person, but I need love. I am a survivor. I need to be around other survivors. And I think as we celebrate this, and as Ms. Torres and Ms. Fitch has brought us together, I looked at the panel. It's so diverse, and I think men need to see men in every hue of manhood, whatever that is. And so it's so strategic, it doesn't make any sense. And so the honor that I have to be a part of this, I'll run to stuff like this, and people will remember the first time, and I'll be finished. I remember the first time I did a women's conference, and one of the deacons at the church said, "You doing a women's conference? What a man doing a women's conference?" There was over 500 women in that conference, and that altar was full, because sometimes you need to hear from who hurt you, that the hurt or disrespect is not tolerable, and that healing is for every one of us. And in our day and time and in our culture, we got to help heal each other. we can't be looking left or right, waiting for somebody to come and do it.
Yeah.
We've got to do it. And this is one of those settings that at least help begin peeling back the onion to help get all the tears out so we can be fresh fruit.
So I
I'm
know,
done.
Hook, I know we need to go, but I guess I still had a question in my head. So I know y'all might be tired, but I have a question.
No, I'm this. See, we don't talk
We're-
about this.
We're talking
In the
about
moment that we
domestic
can, let's
violence.
talk about it.
And it may be my ignorance, but does domestics always mean a romantic partner, or does it also mean
No,
maybe you 30, but your mama's still saying horrible things to you, or
that's domestic.
okay,
That's
Yes,
domestic.
that's a
Yeah.
very, very good question. Yes, I've been in court and I've also represented folks where it's, it's the actual definition is anyone who lives together, formally live together, formally married, but that also includes family members.
okay,
So parent, adult child, unfortunately, our elderly folks are victims. I'm sorry, are survivors as well. So no, it's anyone who is a household member. That's actually the legal term, a household member. So it's not just of a romantic nature or a former romantic relationship, because even though you all live separate and apart now, because you all had that connection before, that falls into that specific area. But no, it definitely covers family members who live in the same household.
Man, y'all got some smart people on this panel. We got a lawyer. We got a lawyer on the panel. My God. The legal terminology and phraseology of it.
I can sum it up with the date, or the dates and all of that if you want me to.
and Sunday.
Oh, yes. So Sunday. So with Saturday, of course, October the 18th is our 10th annual Purple Gala, Men Hurt Too. And it starts at 7. We thought so much about the guys that we even have a cigar bar that'll be outside for them as well. So please know that Kawan and I, have really thought about the men in regards to what we believe it will be helpful for those conversations. So it is your ticket covers your entry. It covers food. It covers from Tati's. It also covers an open bar for those that like to partake in sweet tea and water. And we also have a couple of surprises for that. It is formal. We do ask that you do dress up. Now, if you find that someone wants to come but is unable to get a suit or a dress, we just need to know. We will take care of that. We have people that are waiting to help with that, and so we can help with that.
Fellas, y'all better bring it because I'm coming. You better bring it. I'm just telling you.
And then 2 years ago, we implemented a teen and young adult brunch for teens and young adults to come together to tell us what they are going through or who they may know in regards to DV. Rates are rising significantly among our middle schoolers, our high schoolers, and our young adults. It has taken.
Y'all heard that right? Middle school.
That's great.
Middle school.
Yeah.
Boyfriends and girlfriends.
You know, the most neglected age, I think, is from 20 to 35. That is the generation. If they're not in college, they don't have no mentors.
Yeah. Sorry, Tina, go ahead.
And that's where a lot of it's going. That's why a lot of it is filtering now, where they're killing themselves and their loved ones.
And so that's why we're having this brunch. This is our 3rd year having the brunch. It is free for the ages of 12 to 25. Anyone over 25, we are asking that they make a $15 donation, but that also is so that it can help with resources and different things like that. Now, the gala itself is at Suite 60 on Two Notch Road. And that, of course, is on the 18th. The brunch is at Venue 817, who is a sponsor, over off of Broad River Road behind the IHOP. Now, that takes place at 1 o'clock. All the information about both events is on kickbacktickets.com, as well as shedidthatevents.com, the Purple Gala. So we have information on both of those. I do want to say that if you need a ticket, if you want to come because you really know that you need to be in this building, you just need to reach out. I'm that girl or I'm that woman that just, I'm not going to turn you away because I feel as though you need it. You reached out. Nobody needs to know. We got you covered. Tickets are $65. Um, and we do have VIP tables. We do have sponsorships. If you would like to sponsor, our sponsorships start at 500. However, if we need to tailor something in regards to your business, we can do that. You just got to reach out to me. We also have an ad booklet. If you would like to put an ad in our booklet, please let us know. Our ads start at $25, up to $100. And then also we have donations for yes, I saw that. Yes. So please, 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 no question is a stupid question. Please know that. A stupid question is a question that's not asked. I'm sorry. That's where I'm at. You won't know unless you ask. Closed mouths don't get fed. I believe I said that one right. So it is, that's where we are. Yeah.
Good deal.
Well, thank y'all for
We
answering my
appreciate it.
question.
And Shannon, obviously, you know, we can't end without your Shannonism. So let's get it.
Oh, I tell you, I'm just so excited that Tina and everyone agreed to be on the show tonight to talk about this issue. Like I said, when I first saw the flyer and realized that we were focusing on me, I say we because I feel like I have an
Yes,
ownership
ma'am.
too.
Yes, ma'am.
My company's been able to sponsor a couple of times, and I plan to sponsor again this year.
Oh, thank you.
And just to be just excited that we're bringing this dynamic of the issue to the forefront. Because you don't hear about it. And like Hook was saying, you know, you hear about men who say they've been abused or in an abusive relationship, and you think it's funny. One of my first memories is of my mother fighting my father when I was like 2 years old, and my brother was surprised that I even remembered it. But even growing up as a child, we didn't think about it as abuse. Like
Right.
that terminology never came into my head. And I'm definitely not saying my mother was an abuser, but just seeing that image and having that embedded into my mind, it never dawned on me that a woman hitting a man could be considered abuse. Right? I'm thinking it's protection, it's fighting, it's her defending herself, but never thinking that that could also be abuse. So, like I said, bringing this topic to the forefront, I think is amazing. It's awesome. I'm with you, Andre. I think the panel that Tina has put together is awesome. When I saw everybody on there, I was like, okay, my girl, she's doing it. Okay, so yeah, I'm just excited. I love that you're in the community doing this good work, putting up the good fight, bringing these issues to the forefront. And girl, you know I support you. You always got my support.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all so much. Couldn't do this without Kawan. I hate that she couldn't be on.
I know, me too.
With us today. Like I said, she's a high roller. Girlfriend is getting married, and she got a wedding going on, and the reception, and then the gala. I mean, we doing things, and it's because of our brothers and sisters here, right here on here with us. Because of you guys helping push this, we're able to breathe and still be able to do the things that we need to do. So we thank you so much.
That's great.
Absolutely. And this was great. Again, I wasn't familiar with the Purple Gala until recently, but I'm all in. Obviously, like I said, Tina, anything I can do to help promote it, push it, I'm there for you, certainly. So again, I appreciate you coming on, Tina.
I hope you can come. I hope you can come that night.
Oh yeah, we certainly gonna do our best. Me and the missus we gonna certainly do our best.
Good.
And James, it's good to see you outside of church. So, hey, certainly appreciate this. Sure, we'll be seeing you this Sunday.
Yeah,
absolutely, brother. And thank you for all you're doing, man. This is an amazing podcast. I knew about it a couple of months ago. I saw Shannon on one of the Facebook.
Yep.
Wait a minute, that's Hook. I said, look at y'all growing up.
It's my cousin from another family. You know?
Exactly, right?
We probably are related, Hook. We probably are.
Hey, I mean, Allendale, everybody can do everybody, so probably so, right?
Yeah, that's great. Y'all are doing a great work for sure.
Hey, thanks. We appreciate
it. Give a shout out to City of Columbia Office Business. What is it?
Opportunity.
Office of Business Opportunity, OBO.
Yeah. Aisha.
Yes, and the mayor, Rickman, and
Right.
Councilman McDowell and Councilwoman Bustles for believing in us to be a part, and we're
That's
grateful for what they've done to help us assist in some things. So thank you to the City of Columbia for
That's
what they
awesome.
do.
Absolutely. And Dre, this is my first time interacting with you, man. But again, I
Bless,
appreciate you. Certainly
bless
love
you.
your insight.
Yeah.
Certainly hope next time we do the post show, you'll be able to come. You guys will be able to come back on and join us as well. Certainly looking forward to it.
Look forward
And
to it.
again, always, you know how we roll. I appreciate you, everything you do. You're certainly a godsend. I appreciate you just so much. So.
And you're so tall.
You guys, if you can get it in your churches, please do. If you can.
Got you.
If you can.
Did you hear me call you tall?
Huh?
Did you hear me call you tall? You didn't hear what we was laughing at.
Call who tall? Me?
I said you are so tall.
I am. I'm the shortest one in the group.
That's how big your stature is.
I
though.
need y'all to churches. Richland School District 1 is sharing the information, and Richland School District 2 is sharing the information.
Awesome.
So if we can get some of the churches to help, that would be great. So that's where I need help at. That's where I need help at. The churches and any other organizations.
Definitely.
Those of us that got our own audience too, like for me, I'm probably going to have you come on, Tina, you and Ms. Fitch, and then we reverse the conversation about why you're doing it and what you're doing it for. So we can do that as well on our individual platforms as well.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, certainly, absolutely. And again, you guys have been great. I certainly appreciate it. For the audience, make sure you guys comment, share, subscribe. We want to get the word out for the Purple Gala. So again, you guys have been great. And until next time, stay curious and stay informed. We'll be talking to you.
That's right. See you later.
All right. See y'all.
All right, y'all.